For decades, we've been told the fight for reparations is a political one. But the hard truth? The entire push for direct cash payments is being set up to fail. It's about to crash and burn under the weight of one single unanswered question. Who exactly gets the check? Stay with me, family. I will break it all down right now. First, family, no amount of protesting or political shouting is going to fix this. This is a logistical crisis. Without a crystal clear system to identify who is owed money, the reparations movement is destined to fail. So let's break down why the current strategies are a complete dead end and why the only way to deliver real justice is to blow up the current playbook. On the surface, the answer looks simple, right? Reparations should go to the descendants of people enslaved in the United States. This is the lineage-based approach. The problem? Proving it. I want you to imagine trying to trace your family back over 160 years through a system that was built specifically to erase your ancestors. A system where names were stolen, families were shattered, and records were either burned or never existed at all. For many, proving a direct link to a specific enslaved person is an impossibly difficult genealogical nightmare. Now, activists rightly say the government needs to help with this, but let's keep it a buck. Basing a program only on this kind of individual proof is an administrative catastrophe waiting to happen. It creates a system where justice depends on your luck with surviving records. While states like California have had a task force recommend a lineage-based approach and even proposed creating an agency to help people with this monumental task, the approach by itself is a dead end. It's like trying to pay a debt without even knowing who you owe. So what's the alternative? The other camp says, forget lineage, just give it to all black people in America. This race-only approach is a legal minefield, especially for cash payments. Why? Because programs that hand out money based on race alone get hit with lawsuits almost immediately. Just look at what's happening in Evanston, Illinois. Their pioneering reparations program, which uses race as a key criterion for eligibility, is now fighting for its life in federal court. In 2026, after a judge allowed the lawsuit to proceed, the U.S. Department of Justice moved to intervene, arguing the program is unconstitutional. It's a perfect example of how this approach practically invites legal challenges that can stall everything indefinitely. Politically, it's just as weak. It muddies the waters. The claim for reparations isn't for the general experience of being black in America. It's a specific claim for the generational theft that began with U.S. chattel slavery. Throwing everyone into one pot, including recent immigrants from Africa or the Caribbean who have no ancestral link to this specific American crime, dilutes the power and precision of that claim. And that's the deadlock that has this entire movement spinning its wheels. So I have to ask you, where do you stand? Should it be a broad racial category or a specific proven bloodline? It's a messy question. Let me know what you think in the comments. But here's the thing everyone is missing. This entire debate, lineage versus race, is a false choice. A trap. The real solution isn't one or the other. It's both, in a very specific order. Step 1. Define the damn group. Before $1 gets paid out, the government has to legally and socially recognize who the debt is owed to. We're not talking about a racial monolith. We're talking about creating a distinct legal class, Foundational Black Americans, or FBA. This act of delineation makes it legally clear that the claim is not for all black people, but for the specific descendants of those who endured the multi-generational harms of U.S. chattel slavery and the Jim Crow systems that followed. Step 2. Prove you're in that group. Once that class is legally defined, the impossible task of proving your lineage suddenly becomes possible. You're no longer trying to prove a link to a ghost from 200 years ago out of thin air. You're simply proving you belong to a legally recognized group. This is exactly the model that California's reparations task force recommended. A lineage-based approach paired with a state agency designed to help people trace their ancestry and verify their claims. But again, that only works after the group itself is clearly and legally defined. This two-step plan changes everything. It stops reparations from being some vague, feel-good idea and turns it into cold, hard, actionable policy. Delineation defines the group to make the claim legally defensible, and lineage verification then proves an individual's membership within that group. One without the other is absolutely doomed to fail. Let's be clear. The biggest threat to reparations isn't a lack of money or political will. It's the lack of a real, workable plan. By first defining the group, and then verifying the individuals inside it, we can finally get past the endless arguments over who and start cutting the checks. We can turn a centuries-old debt into a tangible reality. I'll land my plane right there. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe for more real talk. Stay rooted, stay awake. I'm Marcus Johnson, and we'll catch you next time.